All righty, here we go. Good evening, everyone. My name is Maria Williams, and I'm a Pro 9 with LifeVantage, and I'm excited to start off the new year with you here, 2019. I love New Year's. I love new chapters. A new year is it's a new life full of possibilities, right? It's a new beginning. We reflect on the last year and the last times that we have gone by, months, and everything that has happened in 2018. And then we take time to look at where do we want to go in 2019. So hopefully today I can give you some advice, some ideas on how to set goals and all of that. And I will be partnering up with Kathleen Troust, Pro 7 out of the East Coast. And so I will start with, I love to do a little exercise. And when I start my new year, and I'm going to try to share this. I can hear someone making a lot of noise in the background. Can you mute your computers, your phone, whatever you're on? I did try to mute you, but someone has escaped the mute button. So what I'm going to show you here, right, you're probably looking at the screen. It's really, really small, but this is my suggestion on how to set goals. This is why it's important. There's been studies done by Harvard Business School, Stanford, all different types of studies done on the importance of writing down your goals, writing down the things you want. One of the first things when we start in this business is to write down your why, right? Write down, why do you want this business? What are all the things you want out of it? That is so important because that is what keeps you grounded. That is what keeps your focus, your attention, your intention, all of that to what you want out of life. So starting a new year, it's like looking at what your goals were, right? And reevaluating it all. So what I like to use is my 10-3-1 method. So what I do is I take a sheet of paper and I split it in fours like this. And up top here, I will put, this is not going to come out as good as I want, but sorry, bear with me. I will put love as the topic. This block here will be health. Oh, this is going to be horrible, but you guys get the gist of it, right? All right, health. Oh, wow, this is harder than the way I thought. There you go. It's all right. You get what I'm saying. This could be life. For the purposes of our business, this could be our LifeVantage business, right? So I'll just put biz here. And then the last one is your soul. You have to feed your soul. Oh, I'm getting better at this. Look at this. So 10-3-1, let's go to love, right? So think of goals that you want, things that you want to achieve in love, right? And then write down 10 things that you are going to do. So that's the 10-3-1. So you write down 10 things you're going to do. So let's say, look, in my case, I want to even deepen my relationship, all my relationships around me, right? So I will come up with 10 different things. What could I do daily, right? What could I do in my life? 10 different things. Then I'm going to pick the top 3 that I think are the most important out of those 10 things that would help me with my particular goal that I have. And then I'm going to narrow it down to 1. 10-3-1. 1 is what you feel after you look at that list of 10 things. You're going to write down, you're going to pick the number 1 thing that is most important that you need to do, that you feel will be the most impactful in the goal that you're trying to achieve. And then 2 other things after that. So 10-3-1, because sometimes we have this big wish list, right? So you start with 10, you narrow it down to the top 3, and then you focus on that number 1. The number 1 is going to be the thing that you are going to do, and that whatever happens, whatever challenges, that is the most important. So if I was doing this for my business, and I did this in the beginning, so I'll tell you what I did in the beginning when I started. So for the business part, I wrote down like 10 different things I wanted. My number 1 thing that I knew that I had to do was daily calls, daily activity. Okay, and I'm talking about in the beginning. I've got my list of 200 names. It was daily calls. It was contacting people. Some way, somehow, I would have to try to talk to someone new every day. So that would be my daily, right? So when you look at yours and you put your 10 different things you want to do, pick the top 3 and then focus on the number 1. So health, if you want to lose weight, then you start putting, you're going to drink more water, you're going to exercise every day, you're going to eat more vegetables, no sugar, no soda, cut out, what else could you cut out in your life, right? And then you pick the top 3, and then that number 1 that you know that is the most important that you need to do. So my health goal is that I need to exercise more. I eat pretty healthy. I know I can eat better. So my number 1 thing is going to be I have to exercise more, even 20 minutes a day, and take 1 day off during the week. And it can just be even a light walk if I don't take that day off. But I have to really make it a priority in my life and not put everything around it, because I know that's the little piece that's missing. When I looked back at last year and what I've committed to doing, I have my sheet here from last year I'm looking at. My health goal was a plant-based diet, and I have incorporated a lot more vegetables into it. But this year it is more exercise in my life. I have to do more exercise, and specifically, I'm being very specific, I have to do is more weights in my life. So, and I know Kathleen will totally get that with me. And she's going to talk a little bit more about the biz side. The soul, for example, is personal development, feeding your soul. For me, it's a priority, and continues to be my number 1 goal, to feed something positive into my soul, into my brain, into my heart, into me. So I go on YouTube, lots of different places that I can find personal growth, personal development, just being positive and upbeat. Because that's what we need in this business, is we need to be positive. You need a positive attitude always. So I'm always trying to find, what can I use for me? What can I use to help and teach others? Another part of the top 3 for my soul, it's going to be more reading this year. Really, I heard someone speak yesterday, and he was talking about 10 pages a day. So if you want to read more books, so reading lots of books in a year can seem like overwhelming, but if you narrow it down to 10 pages a day, that is a lot of pages and a lot of books. I think it's like 12, 13 books that you might end up reading if you just did 10 pages a day. So part of this is taking big goals and bringing them down, keeping them very simple. That's why 10-3-1. 10 things I'd love to do, narrow it down to the top 3, and then that 1 that you're not going to give up on. Why is that? Because if we take things in little chunks, little pieces, we will have more success than being overwhelmed and trying to do it all and not. So if I look at reading, 12 books in a year, that can seem overwhelming. But if I just look at every day 15 minutes or 10 pages, I can do 15 minutes in my life. You can find 15 minutes. I can find 20 minutes to work out. It doesn't have to be 3 hours of working out. 20 to 30 minutes of some good cardio and weightlifting and exercise, that helps. That is good, right? So it doesn't, but if you're there 30 minutes, you may stay a little longer. So, but taking things in baby little chunks can help you a lot. So I was reading, so that gives you an idea of taking a piece of paper, 4 quadrants: love, health, life, can be business, and then soul. So start there if you don't know where to start, and start with 10 things, 3, and narrow it down to 1. So let me turn this off here. Oh, no. Yeah, I don't want to say this. Hold on, guys. I'll stop sharing it. There we go. So go back to this view.
Hey Maria, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but there's somebody that's not muted, and it's really distracting, and I want to hear everything you're saying, and I'm sure everybody else does too.
All right, hold on. Let me try to mute all again.
I think it's Billy.
Okay, I think I got him this time. I tried a couple of times and it wouldn't mute for some reason, but I think I got everybody now. Thank you, thank you. Takes a village, takes a village. I love it. We got 150 people on here. I love it to start the year out like this. When you choose your goals, okay, it's important to choose why are you choosing them. Okay, that's a big component of whatever you choose that you put in those blocks that, you know, the thing that you want for your health. Why are you choosing that? Why is it important? You always have to be emotionally connected to whatever you want in life. If there is no emotional connection, then you're going to be like everyone else that went to the gym the first couple of weeks, and by the end of January, the gym is empty again. So if you can emotionally connect, I had a friend, Mary Han, who emotionally connected to losing weight because her daughter was getting married, right? That's a huge emotional connection. And she looked amazing for her daughter's wedding using our physique system last year when it started, when we had a challenge. So be emotionally connected and then do a gut check. Does it feel right? You know, does it feel light or dark? Does it feel good or not so good, right? When you make decisions on goals, how does it feel? How does it make you feel? That's all about being emotionally connected to that. And then make your plan. I would say one of the best ways to stick to a plan is to write it down. Write down the things that you say you're going to do. So I've had my list. I had my big list of, you know, my 10 goals, and then I broke it down and just put the narrow ones here. I've had this on my dream board here, and every day it's there, and I look at it in the morning, and I look and I say, okay, am I doing what I said I wanted to do for love? And it was keep love in everything I do. For health, plant-based diet. So I would look at it every day to remind myself, these are my 4 top things that I will do every day, or I will do part of whatever my, you know, I broke out here. So it's important to make that plan, to have it visually where you can look at it. I think it's Earl Nightingale talks about, in one of his talks, he talks about writing down what you want and putting it in your wallet. And I have in my wallet here, I'm just going to put it up because I'm actually going to change it. But my goal, my big goal is written out here. I am a Master Pro 10 at LifeVantage. Ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. He said to write that down, your goal, with those words, and then put it in your wallet and go back and look at it. So am I getting closer to my goal? Absolutely. Every year it's gotten closer and closer to my goal. So I'm very into visually writing down your goals and what you want, and having them, looking at them and getting emotionally connected to what is the goals that you want. It's super important to connect your heart to what you want, because then you're going to stick to it and you're going to do it. And along the way, be kind to yourself. Be kind in regards that there are times you're going to slip up. So don't give up. So if I don't go work out every day, like today was kind of rainy and cold here in Arizona, I did not want to go out. So I just did something in my house, right? So, but I didn't give up on it. And if you slip and you don't do what you say you're going to do, you have to get over yourself. Be kind to yourself. It's okay. But don't let day after day after day go by. So if you say you're going to do daily contacts, right, and you're going to go out and try to meet people and contact people and connect with people, and you let one day go by, that's okay. Don't let that second, don't let that third, don't let that fourth. That's why it's important to have these goals as daily as possible. A little bit every day of something, right? Linked to what you want in 2019, because then you turn it into a habit. It takes 21 days to turn something into a habit, and that's hard. I've tried to change things, and by the 10th, 11th, 12th day, I'm like trying to stop and back off. So really committing to 21 days is a lot when you're trying to change habits. But 21 days to change a habit, and then another, 60 to 90 days to master that habit. and where it's just routine. So when I get up in the morning and I grab my toothbrush, I'm grabbing it, you know, with my left hand. I'm not, if I wanted to switch to my right hand, it's going to take you 90 days to master and change that. 21 days you can change that habit, but to master that, it just automatically starts to happen. So it's just like with your goals, your daily plan that you set down. Look at it daily. And so this way you will stick to it daily. And be kind, but get back on it right away. Don't let a lot of time slip by. And then celebrate the successes along the way, even the little successes towards your goal. Losing an extra pound, right? Losing, if you're trying to lose weight, losing pounds, celebrate all of it. The more joy you bring into your heart, the more everything you do, and it's tied to gratitude and joy, and it comes from your heart, the better and the more success you will have, and the more that you will want to do more things, and you may hit all those goals sooner than you anticipated. So then you can go to your stretch goals, right? You can go even deeper into the things that you want. So that's just a little overview, hopefully to get you started on writing down what you want for 2019. I'm going to turn it over the second half of our training to Kathleen Troust, who's a Pro 7 mom, entrepreneur, this amazing person. And I love the things that she teaches and how she is just so in tune to energy, and there's so many things that we're so like-minded that I just love about this business. So Kathleen, it's turning it over to you, sweetie.
Thank you so much. And I'm excited to be on here with you. I'm actually going to start out with the story, but, you know, before I tell you this story, you know, in 2018, I remember thinking, I'm not always going to make the right choices, but I can choose what I put in my mind, because what we put out, we get back. You know, you're never going to look in the mirror with a frowny face and get a happy face back. I mean, what you see out there is a reflection of you. And so in 2018, I remember thinking, when I go to the gym, I am not turning on the news. I'm not going to turn on the TV or the news. I'm going to turn on something about the law of attraction, because that's what I was feeling drawn to. It's very positive, puts me in a good space. And I did that pretty much every day of 2018. And even though I had a volume setback in my business, I never felt that way. I never felt like I fell back. I always felt really good and happy and fulfilled. So don't forget, what you put in your mind will affect how you feel about where you are right now. So I'm going to start with a story. I love to talk about the law of attraction in regards to business, because it's no different than anything else that we do in our life. What we think about comes about. It just is. And sometimes when people write their goals, as you're doing, and we've been taught this, to write SMART goals, specific, measurable, you know, time sensitive, all these things, it's really good to do that. But for some people, it can create a sense of lack and scarcity, because instead of focusing on where we're going, we tend to focus on what's not happened yet. How many of you have experienced that? Like, oh, I didn't reach that goal. And then we focus on what didn't happen or what's not happening. How many of you focus on who's not moving in your business and you forget to focus on what is happening in a business? So I want to share this story about my son. My kids are always teaching me so many lessons. They're 6 and 8. And we just started martial arts with my 8-year-old. He loves this Ninjago thing. If you have small kids, you might know Ninjago and this ninja thing with the Legos. And we said, you know what, if you think it's time, and we're going to try out this martial arts thing. So we take him to this martial arts class. We do his first class. He breaks a piece of wood. He totally doesn't think he can do it, and he does it, which is beautiful. It's this ability to break through that mindset of what we think we can't do, and then he does it. He goes to his first group class yesterday. And my husband are sitting there, we're watching through the windows, and it's all a little uncomfortable. We're like, oh my gosh, he's doing all these moves. Maybe he's uncomfortable. Now they have to pick a partner, and people are watching him. All these the minutia of doing what he had to do to get through this class, we were attentive to. And when it came down to deciding to enroll him in the class, they sat down and said, Ian, do you want to do 6 months or a year? Empowering him to make some decisions. He says, I want 2 years, because he wants that black belt. He wants that black belt, and not once did he say, my legs hurt, or I had to pick a partner, and all these, like, the things that he had to do to get through this class. No, he was just focused on the black belt, and he said 2 years. So I'm wondering, what is it? What black belt is there for you in this business? What's your black belt this year? What's your goal? And does it inspire you to think past the minutia of all the actions that we have to do in this business and just focus on the outcome, what you want? And in that moment when he said 2 years, this was so excited about that black belt. And we're already talking about, listen, getting your black belt, you are now in process of getting your black belt. You are now in process of reaching the goal that you are putting your stake in the ground today. And my question to you, does it inspire you? Does it inspire you? Sometimes, I'm talking to people, well, what do you want? Well, I want to pay my debt. And I have to ask you, like, does that get you excited? Like, does it get you excited doing that? Or is it the feeling of being free to do something with that financial freedom, of not having to pay the debt? But what if you didn't have that and you had that freedom, that extra $500 a month? What would you do with that? And does that get you excited? Is that your black belt, that you're willing to say 2 years instead of 6 months, right? So what you focus on is what's going to propel you and inspire the actions that are really required to grow this business. But sometimes we get so caught up in the actions and whether those actions are fun or not, that we never get past that. We get stuck in, like Ian in that class, stuck in that feeling of people watching him or him doing these exercises he hadn't done before and all the discomfort of that instead of focusing on the black belt. So I encourage you in your business going into 2019 is to do some brainstorming. And I've had to do this too because there's some things floating around on my goal list that aren't that inspiring. And I'm like, is that really inspiring me to take a certain action on a daily basis? If it's not, it's time to dig, you guys. It is time to dig and find that inspiration. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions. One, what is your goal? You might have several, but let's just talk about LifeVantage in 2019. What are you envisioning for your LifeVantage business? Okay? If you can't think of it right now, write down the question. Second question is, does it inspire you? Does it inspire you? Third question, if it manifested, we hang up the Zoom call and you've reached the goal right now, how would you feel? She's like, woo-hoo-hoo. And I want to know, when you understand, or where you can tune into whatever that feeling is, and Maria spoke to this, like you have to tap into the emotion of it. What other things in your life create this feeling for you? What other things that you do that create that feeling of whatever? Okay, I'm just going to give you a quick example. I have a desire. My husband and I are looking at real estate investment and dabbling in that. And I have a desire to be able to look at a house and just say, we want that one. And not have to think about, well, we really have to look in this smaller price point. That drives me insane. So I have a desire, an inspirational desire to just be like, I want that one. And the feeling, I had a similar feeling when I went to the store the other day for some retail therapy, and I just said, I want that $200 sweater, and I'm going to get it. It was the same exact feeling as being able to look at a house and be like, I want it. So even though that thing hasn't manifested yet, it's the feeling that's so important. I want you to know what that is, because there's other things in your life where you can continue working on that feeling, because it's going to attract what it is you want by you focusing on that feeling more. Crowding out some of the negative, stuff that's in your life. Maybe it's the news, maybe it's negative people, whatever it is that's not feeling good, crowd it out. Fill it with something better. And then from that place of that feeling, what actions are you inspired to do that will help you grow your LifeVantage business? I know, for instance, when I listen to Carrie Dickey's call on Monday, if you or whoever it is, your Pro 10 leader, someone does like a weekly call, inspirational call, motivation, I feel so clear after that call. It's a clarity that I'm like here on purpose. And when I feel that, it inspires me to be in a different place of action than if I don't plug into that. It's just different. So we can control the information we put into our space to create a feeling that propels us to do a certain action. Okay? Is everybody following me? Inspired action is the theme, you guys. Inspired goals create inspired action. And that's what's available for us. So please, please, don't come into this and just say, I want to do this and expect that you're going to do something big. If whatever it is, it's fine. But if you want to create something life-changing, if that's why you're here, get ready to dig into an inspired goal for 2019. And with that, I'm going to wrap up with this. A friend of mine gave me these money and the law of attraction cards. I love this stuff. I mean, every day. There's lots of different places you can listen to law of attraction. If you haven't seen the movie The Secret, that's a pretty quick access point. All right. This was just a random card. I'm going to read it for you guys. Okay, look at that. That's totally crazy. It says, I can follow the trails of good feeling thoughts. And here's what it says. Most people have to put anything that earns money in the category of the things that I have to do. And that is why the money often comes so hard. If you are wise enough to follow the trail of good feeling thoughts by deliberately looking for positive aspects along your way, you will come into vibrational alignment with who you really are and with the things you really want. This is so crazy that this is the card. That's totally random. And once you do that, the universe must deliver to you a viable means to achieve your desires. Woo! You guys, this is a huge stack of cards, and that's just the one that I randomly picked. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so that's my message for you guys. Really excited to see you all in Charleston. If you have a goal in 2019, there should be no question about being in Charleston because it's part of this path. It's part of the alignment to reaching your goal. So thank you so much for having me join you, Maria, on this call tonight. I loved your share. I love all the structure of creating goals for each component, each kind of part of our life. And this is one of my little vision boards that I have this year. Just some big, powerful words. Dream fearlessly, power moves, inspired by instinct. Keep your income coming. Some of them. Anyway, and of course I have a wise woman with gorgeous hair here because hair care is where it's at right now. Biohacking hair. Thank you guys. Have a great week.
All right. Thank you, Kathleen. Appreciate that. I'm glad you showed your dream board. Everyone should have a visual dream board. The things you want out of life, the things that you want this business to grow and for you to achieve. A dream board is huge. And looking at that dream board, right? Daily looking at it, feeling inspired when you look at it, feeling excited when you see the things on your dream board that you want to achieve. So thank you so much, everyone. So for the week, Monday morning, like Kathleen mentioned, we have Monday morning motivational call. Stu Brody already sent out an email, so look at the times for in your area. That is a phone call that you can call in. It's always recorded. So if you work and you can't listen during the day, you can listen when you get at home at night or when you're driving back home. Thursday night, we have an opportunity, either call or Zoom webinar. Depends on who's doing it and who we've been trying to do Zoom webinars with those. And then Saturday, we are planning, it's still in the works, but we're planning to do another global virtual blueprint training, meaning from the, it'll be in the morning and it'll be from the why, the database, inviting, close, all of that. I'm still putting that together and I'm going to pull it off. I just got to get my act together. But I'm going to pull it off for Saturday and we'll get all that information out to everyone. So thank you so much, everyone, for being on and have a blessed week. Set your goals. What are you going to do this week? What activity? How much activity are you going to do this week? Right? How much activity? Let's do it. Okay? Because that's where you're going to get to where you want in this business, is by taking daily action. Right? Daily baby steps. So love you all so much. Have a blessed night.
Thank you. You too.
Good night.